Hello, welcome to our Champion Valley website. So if you are seeing this video, you are probably a mid-orientation. Congratulations, thanks for joining the team. We do a lot at the park, so we just want to kind of go through our website here, kind of the easiest way to break down everything that we do. Plus then you can kind of see what customers see, so when you answer the phone, you might understand why they're a little confused. So when you go to the website, this is the first page that you're brought to. You scroll down and you're kind of inundated with all this information. So let's just go through kind of one by one what we do here. Let's go by attractions. So we have axe throwing, definitely not our most popular thing, but we've got axe throwing. It is up in the battle axed area. Yeah, we use the caged end lanes now, maximum of 10 people per lane, per group, minimum of 4. Typically a 2-hour booking for axe throwing. People can bring food and drink, but no alcohol. They're more than welcome to use the fire pit. Typically just kind of a chill, hang out, throw some axes situation. And then we've got archery tag. Archery tag is our kind of, I don't know, it's getting more popular, but it's like kind of dodgeball, paintball mixed. You shoot each other with bow and arrows. The arrows have like a marshmallow tip on the end. Again, a 2-hour booking. Yeah, this one is played all on Hyperball. It's a pretty fun one. It's a little bit more popular for kids. We do have 2 different types of bows. So we have junior bows and then we have regular bows. So the junior bows have a lighter draw, so they don't take as much power to pull back. So these 2 things, archery tag and axe throwing, are often added on to a paintball reservation. So people will do paintball and then they'll do archery tag and then they'll do axe throwing. They can do all 3. It's not particularly common, but they could. And then we have a low impact paintball. So low impact paintball is our lighter paintball. It hurts less. It's a smaller physical paintball. It's also different guns. So this is ages 8 and up. We typically recommend for this one. But that being said, people like, I've seen bachelor parties do it, and it's kind of all the fun of paintball with a little bit less pain, I think. Yeah, nothing too crazy about this. The biggest difference with this one is that people will pay for their entire reservations ahead of time. So they'll pick between a bronze, silver, or gold package, and they'll pay for that at a time. So we know as employees what we need to prep for that group, which is nice. And then it's only 2 hours long compared to a regular paintball reservation is 3 hours long. So people will call and ask and say, what's the difference? It's really the size of the paintball, the length of the reservation, pretty much the only difference. It hurts less. I think it doesn't quite shoot as far, but it's really not like a massive difference. So that's kind of the general rundown of low impact paintball. And then we've got regular paintball. This is kind of our bread and butter. This is what we started with. It's definitely our most popular thing. There's 2 ways that you can play paintball at the park. You can make a private reservation that has a minimum of 8 people, maximum of, I don't know how many guns we have, like 150. We typically don't see that many people, but we do have a couple of sports teams that come out every year that are like 100 or so people. So that's something to keep in mind. And then you can come for open play. So open play happens every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. For that, you don't need a reservation. You can just walk on. You will be joined by other people. Kind of just is what it is. We recommend that for groups that, maybe it's their first time playing and they don't want to set a reservation. Maybe they have less than 8 people and they still want to come out and play, then that's what we recommend to them. But if you answer the phone, you do need to make it clear, hey, you can come in for open play, but you will not be by yourself. You will be with other people that are playing open play. We do have a couple of, I maybe call them residential players or regulars. And they'll be out there, they'll have their kind of fancy guns and all that kind of stuff, but it is your job as a ref to make sure that those teams are even, and that should be communicated to the customer as well. Some people will ask, like, oh, am I just going to get lit up by, the other people playing? And the answer is no. We try to keep those teams as even as humanly possible so that does not happen. This is a 68 caliber paintball, standard, industry standard. We use a Tippmann 98 as our rental gun. People can bring in their own guns. They cannot bring in their own paint. That is for two reasons. First, because it's it's not safe. It's not safe for the environment. It's a Scott County mandate. And the second reason is just that we don't want other bad paint going into our guns and potentially making them messier than they need to be. So that is something to be aware of there. And then we have airsoft. Airsoft happens pretty much every Sunday from noon to 5. It is just open play. If people want to make a reservation for airsoft at this point, we push them to contact Crucible Airsoft, which I think it's typically best to find them on Facebook and direct them to message them on Facebook, and they can do it that way. But the thing to really know about airsoft is that we do not we don't run those games. So right now it's Crucible that runs them. It's all open play. There's typically between like 40 and 70 people that come out and play. So yeah, that's kind of just to keep in mind. I would say that's like our probably number one most asked question is when is airsoft. So just about every Sunday, you can click on our it's in the schedule here, so you can see it on our website. So that's something to keep in mind. People will sometimes ask really technical questions like, can I bring this? Can I do that? To be honest with you, I almost never know the answer. So I will typically just email Crucible and see what they say, or if they email it in, then I'll forward that email to Crucible so they can answer that question. And then we have our combo packages we sort of already talked about. Typically our most common is a paintball reservation plus either axe throwing or archery tag. So that being said, if someone calls and they want to do low impact and archery tag, we can totally make that happen for them. So yeah. The other kind of two things that you should know that are kind of odd, we do camping at the park. So if people want to camp, they can make their reservation 3 different ways. They can book it straight through us, they can book it through Harvest Host, or they can book it through Hip Camp. So every once in a while you might see someone out there. And they're camping. So yeah, we do all that. And then the second kind of weird thing is that we do offsite rentals. So if someone wants to rent paintball guns, we rent out our regular impact paintball guns. They're 3-day reservations. I believe they're $45. And they get the gun, the tank, and our rental mask. And then we typically recommend that if someone doesn't have their own compressor, that they rent out extra tanks so they have enough to keep them going through the whole weekend. Yeah, so that's kind of the ins and outs of everything we offer here. You'll get more information in history as you kind of go through orientation, but we know that we do a lot. We know that it can be kind of confusing what we do and who runs what and all that kind of stuff. So as a ref, you are potentially responsible for axe throwing, paintball, archery tag, and low impact paintball. Paintball and low impact are pretty much the same thing. You don't really need any special training for that. Other than knowing what kind of guns to grab. And then axe throwing and archery tag require a little bit more. And then airsoft at this point, we don't touch. So that's what's up.